Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're a little bit later today because we finally, after like over a month and a half, have a new balance patch teaser, and they are obliterating a lot. We are getting over 25 cards changed. We got nerfs, buffs, and bans, because yes, Wild getting some love. We got the standard image here, Wild getting nerfs and bans. There's a lot to dive into, a lot to explore here, but just be warned, we don't know the actual official changes, just the cards that'll be getting changed. So we'll speculate on what those changes will be, and if you want to stay tuned and find out what those changes are actually going to be when those patch notes drop, please hit the sub button down below, give the video a like, as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers for that brand Bronzebeard cosplay. So hit that sub button, make me go brand, and yeah, you'll get notified of what those changes are. They're supposed to be tomorrow on Thursday going live. So again, we'll have all that, but let's go into, there are so many cards. We'll try not to go too in depth, but first we have the Demon Hunter card here, Cliff Dive. I imagine this goes to 7 mana. They can make it summon 1 minion or they don't get rushed, but that seems atrocious. It's just a ton of mana. You cheat, right? You get like 8-10 drops and they get their abilities, or like Megtherodon just sticking around for some reason. That deck needs to be dialed back a little bit, especially when they're nerfing so much. And yeah, I expect this to go to 7. I don't really know what else they would do. Next, this one really caught me by surprise. Symbiosis. They just buffed this card for Imbue Druid, where you discover, choose 1 card from another class. It costs 1 less. I will say it's absolutely nuts in your opener, especially if you discover another 1 mana spell, which becomes 0, and that hero power escalates pretty quickly. I think it still would see play if you took the mana cheat away, which is what else are they going to do, right? They're probably going to put it back to what it was. It just didn't have the mana cheat. So yeah, Imbue Druid has really gone over the top, and they obviously want to address it in some way without killing it, and this is definitely a nudge that would significantly hurt the deck, but I think you would still play it because you played it before. Like it wasn't played. And yes, they didn't do the thing where I'm like, nuke Imbue. No, they're nerfing King Plush. I am very curious to see what the change will be to this card, whether they remove charge, the beast tag. Like, how do you nerf this to make the imbue stuff not busted? It has to be a significant change. So yeah, very curious, have no idea on this one. Like, genuinely, I don't know on this one, so we'll have to wait and see. And I'm just, yeah, will Plushie be playable after this? I have a feeling not so much, until he probably goes to like Wild and maybe they revert him there. However, they are double dipping on Imbue Hunter. Actually like triple dipping, I believe. Anyways, Tending Dragonkin will be getting nerfed, and there's multiple ways of going about this one too. Make it more expensive, make it copy a plain beast from your hand. They could do that so it doesn't keep the mana cheat in the attack buff, but one way or another, yeah, this card's getting nerfed. I don't imagine it's just gonna lose an attack or a health, because nobody plays this card for stats, right? It's purely for that copy effect. So yeah, making it more expensive would make it less flexible, or again, making it so it doesn't copy the stats could be the way to go. Flickering Lightbot, thankfully, finally getting nerfed. This actually helps out Wild too a lot with Libram Paladin. Again, there's multiple ways about going about it. They could nerf the gigantic version, the 8 mana one, to make it more expensive, or just do the upfront version. Make this 4 or 5 mana, nerf the stats, right? Something you could do with that, but slow it down. They gotta slow it down. Obviously, they're not gonna do not less than 1. I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, Shallow Dristle Paladin in Standard, pretty insane. And in Wild with Librams, this is a very possible significant change, unless they just make it 4, and then that really doesn't do a heck of a lot. I feel like it needs to be, the giant cards typically need more than 1 mana. We have learned that. Even like Flesh Giant back in the day, they tried 1, that didn't work. 2 kind of worked, and they left it at that. Harbinger of the Blighted just got another card added to the list of cards that Shadow Step got nerfed, right? This is going to go either to 3 mana or summon like 1 cost minions or 1 2 cost minion, right? But my intuition says it'll go to 3, so it's not free with Shadow Step, and then yeah, probably doesn't see play anymore. Or it could have been 2 and you just prep Web of Deception, it's probably pretty good. But yeah, one way or the other, Shadow Step is the main reason season, I assure you, this card is getting nerfed. Curse Campaign. This one, I imagine there's no Ancient of Yore on this list, so I imagine this is one where I wonder if they could give a friendly Warlock minion death rattle. That could be really cool, where it's more of like just infused in Warlock, so you can't slap this on Yore, but you could slap it on any of like the demons that you want to put it on or whatever, or like a starship, because the starship piece, when it comes together, will be a Warlock one. So you can make it 4 mana, make it less flexible. You can make it summon less minions, but this is definitely paying the price for Ancient of Yore, because that interaction where Yore gets resummoned, it comes back twice dormant, and it's so much armor, so much card draw, that I imagine that's why this one's changing. It's the only reason you're playing this card right now, right? So it's got to be that. And yeah, maybe it goes up to 4, but I would love to see it say give a friendly Warlock minion. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe make it cheaper then. I don't know. You could do that. Anyways, Shallow Dristle. No big surprise here. This card's in like 40% of decks pre and post mini set. Obviously, the Ursol interaction is pretty busted, and if this is getting nerfed, it's going to 8, right? They're not changing the dream cards. It's going to go to 8. I don't see any other nerf possibly happening for this card. It's too good in not only Paladin, but other decks, right? It's just like getting that neutral sap is so strong, and a lot of classes don't even care about corrupting it. They just play it because it's so good. So yeah, kind of a shame. It's a really cool card. Hopefully you'll see play afterwards, but it's just too efficient at what it does, you know? It's just too darn good. Narrowlax also getting the hit. It will be paying for Zarimi Sins, although this card's pretty insane in like some wild dragon decks, and it's just better to hit this than the other stuff, but it'll be really, again, curious to see, do they just make it 8 mana? Like, do they just make the timer on that combo 1 turn slower? I feel like it needs something more significant. I've been really preaching your dragons cost 3 less or 2 less, maybe make it a tiny bit cheaper. I just feel like it needs some kind of reworking where just these cost 1 cards like a Murmur are just, they're not healthy for the Hearthstone game. They never have been, and yeah, I hope it might be a little bit more significant than that. And then the last nerf is Sing Along Buddy. It's just too good with the hero power decks. They pushed Imbue, and yeah, Sing Along Buddy all of a sudden in Standard and Wild. This hurts Wild too with like Reckless Apprentice. I imagine 3 mana, 4 mana. Maybe you'll get some stat compensation, but it's just too cheap, and this will also hurt Imbue Druid. Every Imbue deck that likes this card outside of Priest, but my god, poor Priest, what are they doing? Although they're getting buffed. Yeah, I imagine it goes up 1 or 2 mana, and they probably call it a day on that card. So this one, again, impact in Standard and Wild. So 2 of the Imbue hero powers will be getting buffed. We have Blessing of the Dragon. I barely heard anyone call for a buff to this. I'm very curious, will they shuffle more portals, or like will it draw a card while it does it? That's terrifying. But yeah, I really don't know what you buff. It's not going to be the mana cost, I don't think. All the hero powers are consistently 2 mana, so yeah, maybe it shuffles in more portals. Really curious, really interested, but yeah, Imbue Paladin hasn't worked basically as well. It's been almost as bad as Imbue Priest, right? Like it really hasn't worked out, so they're going straight to the hero power. Be curious to see how they buff it, and yeah, they're buffing the Imbue Priest hero power. I have heard countless suggestions. I have made countless my own. I just hope that they don't make it broken, because if you play Arena, Imbue Priest is insufferable there. So we'll see what the change is. My suggestion was just to remove the choose part. Just you get the minion and spell, and then you could play both of them if you have the mana. But yeah, good shot, probably removing temporary, right? That's probably the most likely thing, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know on this one, and we'll find out pretty darn soon. But in Priest Enjoyers, you might have a chance, and they're also buffing Spirit of the Keldori, 2 mana, 1/3, Taunt, Lifesteal, Battlecry. If you use your hero power this turn, gain +2/+2. I could see it going to like 1 mana. Maybe they hurt the stats a little bit, or just make it a 2/3. So if you have to play it on curve, it's not that bad. I would think this will be more of a minor nerf, more of like, yeah, one stat point or 1 mana thing. But yeah, they're definitely nerfing this card. It was like almost all these cards are on our worst cards list, right? Isn't that funny how that works out? That they look at the same stats that this idiot looks at for the most part, or at least their stats correlate with H's replays because, you know, we're all playing the same game. This one's pretty spooky, actually. Overgrown Horror is going to get buff. 5 mana, 4/6 Warlock Taunt. Battlecry, reduce the minions in your hand with Dark Gifts by 2. That's a lot of mana cheat. I imagine this goes to like a 4 mana 3/5. Or they could make it -3 mana. I just don't like more mana cheat by Hearthstone, but obviously this card sucks. That deck sucks, so they're gonna try again to make the whole Dark Gift Warlock possible, and they're throwing this in there for, I get scared of mana cheat, so we'll see, but hopefully it's one they don't regret. They're also buffing the warrior card Dark Rider, which is a 1 mana 1/1. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon with a dark gift. Probably goes to a 1/2. They like these one mana cards that generate a minion be a 1/2, right? Like, what, you're not making it 0, are you? Like, I don't know what else you're doing. Taking the condition away, it's probably a 1/2, but who knows? Maybe they get a little bit crazy on that one. Shadow's Flame Suffusion goes to, it goes to, I don't know. It's 3 mana, deal 3 damage, discover warrior minion with a dark gift. I would imagine it goes to 2 mana. Maybe they add a condition you have to kill a minion to get the prize or the boost or the prize, the dark gift. But yeah, 2 mana deal 3 is usually the norm, and maybe they're just like, screw it. They get 2 mana deal 3, they get the dark gift card, probably the most likely bet. Living Flame was on our worst cards video. I feel like there's no point in running it, but they're gonna buff it. Maybe it's a 3/2, a 2/3, 1 mana, or it becomes a battle cry draw fire spell. Maybe they do that. Just a weird one. I feel like it's not a bad card. It's just like, what deck is this going into? I don't really get that one so much. Order in the Court. So now we're on to Wild. Wild changes. Order in the Court is getting nerfed again. It originally started like this, was then nerfed to not draw a card, and then it was nerfed to actually draw a card, because that was a nerf because of the whole Holy Wrath deck that emerged. Is weird. And now they're nerfing it again. I feel like the only way to nerf this card is to make it way more expensive, because right now you could just play it on 2 and then curve into like Call to Arms, curve into your Exodia Uther deck, and it's just so easy. Whereas if it's like 4 mana, 5 mana, you can't curve into it anymore, and that would hurt it a lot. And this is almost in every good Paladin deck right now outside of Librams, which is getting hit by Lightbot as well. So yeah, Paladin getting seriously hit in Wild, depending on how significant this is. If it goes to only 3, I feel like it won't be enough, but they typically don't do nudges in Wild. It's very rare they nudge things. If they're going to nerf something in the Wild, they usually want to make it count, unless it's the Demon Seed most of the time. Void Touched Attendant. Finally, this stupid card is going to get nerfed. This thing has been insane in Wild for year after year after year. There's finally going to be a new deck for the bots to bot, because Shadow Priest, I'm guessing this goes to 2. What else are you doing? You could make it a battle cry. That's a suggestion I've heard before, but it's getting nerfed, and it makes me happy because I'm so sick of facing this card so freaking often. It's ridiculous. So yes, Void Touched Attendant will be getting nerfed as well. Yes, I was right. I ranted about this card, Nova ranted about this card over 4 years ago. It's finally getting nerfed. It was broken all along. It just took a lot of shit in Wild to make it broken. But yeah, they're gonna nerf Scabs. It's usually the centerpiece behind a lot of these degenerate OTK decks, whether it's like Alexstrasza or the Draka APM, like the APM cheating deck and all that stuff. They're nerfing it. I like having it like only work 1 time a turn, or you could lessen the mana cheat to 2. You can make this more expensive, but that rarely does the trick when Rogue has so many ways of cheating mana. So yes, Scabs, finally Nova can play some Hearthstone again with Scabs being nerfed. Serenite Chain Gang being nerfed again, the second time. It was reverted way back when. It was mostly because of Shutterwalk, but Velen can go infinite with this. You play Chain Gang, then you play Velen, and then Velen just resummons itself. It's really dumb, and it only loses like Silence and stuff. It loses to most of the good decks, but it's such a bad play pattern to have a 2-card infinite taunt combo. So I imagine it either loses a Draenei tag or just goes back to summoning another Serenite Chain Gang. You could still go infinite with so many other cards in Wild if you want to do Shutterwalk, whether it's Doppel Gangster, Twin Fin, whatever you want, right? Like, you don't need Chain Gang for that. So I think, yeah, there's been a lot of complaints about it. It's not a power outlier. It's more of a feels thing, and a lot of people have complained about it. So yeah, I'm glad they're making that change. And then the 2 bans. So Grove Shaper will be getting banned from Wild. It has led to some APM animation cheating decks with Naturalize. It goes infinite with Floop's Gloop. And rather than nerfing a wild card, they're just going to ban Grove Shaper. And what a ban means is it is not playable in the wild format until typically when the card rotates from standard to wild, and then they'll rework or nerf the card at the time. So yeah, this card will only be playable going forward in standard arena, or if somehow it's eligible for a Twist season if Twist ever returns, right? Or the Tavern Brawl, sometimes it's playable, sometimes it's not if it's wild rules. So look out for that. And the other ban, yeah, no more infinite Knife Juggler damage with Umbra and Knife Juggler and Phoenix. They're just going to ban it. They're going to let it play out in standard, although there's that Miracle deck in standard that's looking pretty scary that's not being addressed in this patch. So we'll see if high legend players will suffer to that. But yeah, again, will not be playable in wild, discoverable, whatever. It does not exist in the wild format once it gets banned. And you do get dust refunds on banned cards, by the way. You still get dust refunds on that, so you don't have to worry about that if you crafted the card or like a particular Grove Shaper, right? It's an epic. That might just be free dust for a lot of people because it's not good in standard right now. You'll be able to just disenchant this and get some premium epic dust. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's a lot of changes. Again, we don't know the specifics. We should find out tomorrow. Obviously, we'll have a video ready to go for when that's officially announced, and we'll have the patch out, and hopefully the Hearthstone meta will feel a lot better because almost every like really fast combo deck, all the big scams, just really consistent decks are getting hit. We'll just have to see how effective those hits will look tomorrow, and then we'll give a final judgment on that. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.